Hey guys, welcome back to Teamwork and
Tangents.
okay. So, quick one this morning, but important one. We had one of our rocks, one of our to-do items for quarter 4 was to put up our startup story right in between these pictures that I had made for the office in a startup phase when we were absolutely broke. They were, $10 at Michael's. Anyway, long story short, we finally got our startup story up, and it was a scrappy one. You guys have heard it if you listened to the first episode. And what's been really cool is that so many people have read it and appreciated hearing the story and hearing the struggle.
Yeah. The the important thing for us too was that going through the process of remembering where we came from was for me that was the biggest thing. Some of those stories as we were kind of retelling them and we were talking about them too as we
Yeah.
were like, oh yeah, remember that? And I had completely
No, because you
forgotten
block it
that.
all out because you have freaking PTSD from it.
Well, yeah, in a way, it was definitely good. But at the time, you don't even realize how hard it is. But when you look back and you see some of those hard moments, they were the most pivotal for us. Like, I mean, we lost our jobs. And whenever we had 2 kids, like, you lose your job, you lose your money.
Yeah.
We had credit card debt. We had, I mean, trying to do marketing events without money,
Yeah.
like there were all those things, but at the time they were so hard. But we also, looking back, you're just so grateful to be able to have made it through there, so you realize that you can do hard things, you can push through, and building that confidence in myself, and then realizing confidence in you as well. It's like, okay, between the two of us, we're gonna figure this out. It doesn't even matter.
We were too stubborn to quit.
We didn't know. Yeah.
But what you don't realize in the ground and in the grind, and I remember we graduated with friends whose parents, had set them up in practice, or they had joined a parent,
An
or they
uncle
were an
or
uncle or
yeah.
something. They had a family friend, and it just from the outside looking in, and this is always, from the outside looking in, so you never really know. But from the outside looking in, it looked like they just launched and they just had this easy time. And I remember at the time feeling like just ungrateful for our start. And I realize
We're feeling
now
sorry for ourselves
we were feeling, we
sometimes.
had a little bit of a pity party, I'm not going to lie.
Suck it up.
Why can't I be a trust fund kid? What the fuck? Anyway,
Can I have a paycheck? That's
but
nice.
the point is, when you're in the grind and if you're in the kind of Tony Robbins self improvement, if you're in the entrepreneurial space, you have come inevitably across a lot of mindset work. And I think we were too in the trenches to be able to do that early work early on. And we just didn't have the right people around us, the right coaches, the right framework to really dive into that. But when you can find gratitude in the struggle, you start to see less struggle. When you focus on the struggle, you start to see more struggle. So, in honor of a gratitude post, we have a couple of things that, at the time, I wish we were grateful for because we might have seen fewer obstacles. I'm
I,
grateful that we pushed through them.
well, regardless of where you are right now and what level of business, or if you've started something, or if you've had something going for years, you have to be grateful for the process of building the business and learning the lessons.
Yeah.
Once you wrap your head around that, and that becomes like the goal is to learn the lesson and to be grateful for that lesson versus the result of that lesson. The results will come after you've learned the lessons that you need to learn.
100%. And if you don't learn the lesson, guess what happens?
You get it
You
again.
get another chance to learn it. So you better figure this shit out. So looking back, I'm really grateful that every single bank said no. Because if we had gotten, I think we were asking for $180,000, $150,000. If we got that money, we would have had no idea what to do with it. But we could manage our $2,500 credit card revolving balance that wasn't hard, because when it was maxed, it was maxed.
Yeah. There was no money left to spend on
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
But a little kind of snapshot of the kind of sequence of events and how you can flip that into gratitude. So, we talked about when we had those medical file reviews, and then poof, they dried up. At the time, it was a massive pity party. We were totally freaked out. How are we going to feed these two kids and ourselves?
Yeah.
But what it did was it forced us to figure out how to run a business.
We had to grow.
And we did.
We had to grow our skills fast.
Thankfully. Thank you for CID review for canning us right before Christmas, because it forced us to figure our stuff out. And had we had those,
I probably deserved it anyway. I don't know.
You were not a good corporate worker, y'all. He was not a corporate guy. I played that game.
She was good.
I played that game for 5 years before chiropractic school, so I could roll right back into it. Lance is not. So that didn't work out.
I've grown in that regard.
Yeah, he totally has. He's a great corporate guy now. Gratitude for the gym closet, because it was a foundation and it was a low barrier to entry. Our rent was $500 a month, and we got a list of new members at the gym. Boom, instant marketing. Figure out what to do with it. Gratitude for late payments on credit cards, because it gave us a massive credit card or credit score tank, and we had to put in the work to bring that score back up, and you realize how much you actually do need credit.
Budget and financial control, and just squeezing every little bit out of every dollar, because every dollar we were spending was costing us, $1.20 to pay it back. So we had to be very good with where those were going. And in the consulting debt, going into debt to learn,
get a coach to
learn.
Figure out how to do it. Best money ever spent, y'all. Do not ever skimp on coaching. We couldn't afford it when we signed up. We had just enough money to cover that first month of a credit card payment, and we did it, and we didn't know where the next one were coming from. But you literally just have to take the leap. My stepmom gave me this plaque once. This is going to choke me up. And it said, leap and the net will appear. And that's ultimately what you have to do. Whew, that came out of nowhere. Gratitude for partners in business, because it's not all sunshine and roses. And I'm thankful that we were never like up and down at the same time. I think we told the story of the one time we did, and you applied for a job selling cars, but that didn't pan out so well.
It didn't. We've been up at the same time.
We've been.
And sometimes when we're up and firing on all cylinders, that's whenever we make our biggest leap. Sometimes in the course of a year, the most productivity can come in like a short sprint. If we, looking back on it, it's like, oh wow, we got this ball rolling in a period of a few weeks, and it took time to build momentum with it. But really, the whole year depended on that push of a month or so where we're both just really grinding, getting after it.
So gratitude. It's at the time of this recording, 3 days after Thanksgiving, and we're grateful that we've had family here, and we're grateful for our startup. And since this is a business themed podcast, we'll keep it on the business front. But no matter where you are in business, in your startup, in your seasoned, whatever chapter you're in, be grateful for the struggles, because when you look back and you keep pushing through, you're going to see exactly what the lesson was. And if you can take it and focus on the gratitude, they will.
But you're not supposed to know what the lesson is as you're learning it in a lot of cases.
Damn, I hate that for a planner.
Yeah. Sometimes you just have to know that what shit you're going through is teaching you something. You don't know what it is. You just have to trust in the process and have faith that when you get through to that next level, then you will know. Because obviously, if you already knew the lesson, you wouldn't need to learn it. So being in it and covered up by it, that's when you're learning, and you don't even know what you're learning. You just have to keep pushing forward towards something. But that's whenever like goal setting and coaching and community, surrounding yourself with like other people that are successful and pushing the boundaries and limits and trying to make themselves better, trying to make their businesses better, all of that stuff. And
Matters.
one thing that helped me, I definitely struggle with gratitude, but I started a gratitude folder in my phone where I would, so if you have your phone now, you can just go through it and pick out like 20 or 30 pictures of, there was stuff like from trips that we took, there's family pictures, there's big old pictures of the boys and I together that I'm like, oh, I really am grateful for that. So start that folder, and then you have to add to it. You have to add to it every week or every day, even. Like, just look for something throughout the day that you can take a picture of and add it to that folder. And then the first thing in the morning, what I would do is I would get up, and whenever I got on my phone, before I did anything else, was go straight to that folder and then just kind of like scroll through it and stop at random pictures. And that helped shift my day enough to focus on all the gratitude that I had for things previously, and then also I was keeping an eye out for stuff that I could add to that folder. So that helped my lens quite a bit.
Yeah. And this
Quite a
is
bit.
this will turn this 12-minute podcast into 25. And I don't want to do that this morning because we don't have the time. But there's something called the Reticular Activating System. And it's kind of like, if you, let's just say you go buy a new car and you buy a BMW, whatever, all of a sudden your brain is wired to see other like things, in this
Mhm.
case, the BMW. And so you will notice when you get the new thing that suddenly you see
It's
that thing all
everywhere.
over the place. The same holds true for gratitude. So when you start training your brain to look for it, your
Yeah.
brain will see more opportunities to be grateful. So, in closing,
In closing,
go have a day, go have a great day, and understand that whatever the struggle is, it's there for a reason. And I'm going to tell myself that right now because we're dealing with some teenagery behavior that's tricky, and I'm trying to remain grateful in
yeah.
the lens of hard parenting.
And we're grateful that you made it all the way through this.
Peace out, guys.
Thanks.